It would help if I added myself to the stream. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen and ladies, we are live. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let's see who is in the chat. Man, it's another beautiful day in Houston, Texas. I tell you that. Nice and cool. I love it. I love it. What's up? What's up? All right. Let's see who's in the chat. What's up's in the chat? Scott, what's going on, buddy? DJ, what's up? Man, awesome. Awesome to have you guys in here today. It is going to be a fun, it's going to be a fun chat. It's going to be very fun. Let me see. Hold on. I got to turn on my my tan machine here. Whoa, too white. Let's get this thing turned down a little bit. There we go. Nice. Me the people, what's up? Fluffy, Alaskan Ballistics, I'll see you in 2 days, buddy. I hope you're feeling better. Ronnie, what's up, Ronnie? Urban Ninja, my man. We got to shoot soon, buddy. I got some new toys. I got some fun stuff you want to go shoot. Sean's in the chat. Jesus, what's up, man? Nice. So I did an unboxing the other day of some ammo I got from Pilgrim Ammunition, and it is the coolest looking stuff. I mean, it is fantastic, and it's almost too pretty to shoot, but I plan on shooting it pretty quick. Oh my gosh, Bulletproof Blondie is here. No, we got royalty. We got royalty in the house, folks. Bulletproof, you won a Smashy Award, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Urban Ninja. Jeremy Gray, what's up, buddy? Yeah, so Bulletproof Blondie, you won a Smashy Award. I don't know if you saw that. It was very, very cool. You won the award for my favorite IG personality. It was between you and another person. I only know 2 people that are really heavy in IG, and I just could not pick. It was really hard. Right, any donuts? You know what? I laid off the donuts. Today, I joined the gym, folks. Smash time is going to be less smash time the next time you see him. I've decided I might as well trim it up a little bit. You know. Wade Howard, what's up? Dennis Laws, it's cold in Alabama. I'll tell you what, man, it got down to like 40 degrees here in Houston, Texas today, 45. It's pretty chilly. Renee. No. Let's not get crazy, Renee. Please. Next time we have a meet, you are obligated to let's do brownies this time. In case you guys don't know, Renee is the official Smash Time cookie chef. She brings out cookies to our events. Anyway, let's see. All right. So, like I said, I got this Pilgrim Ammunition. I didn't know what to expect, but when I opened it up, I was absolutely blown away. And if you remember that live stream, I told you guys how cool it was. And well, I reached out to him, and one of the co-founders decided, hey, man, he'll slum it up tonight, hang out with us. I wanted to bring him on, so he'll be on in about 2 minutes. If everyone could please hit the thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. That would help me out quite a bit. What's up? You're the one of those that comes to my gym every January 2nd for weeks and then quit. Actually, no. Oh man, hold on. No wonder it's so dark in here. There we go. Hold on, let me turn these lights on. Oh, much better. There we go. No. So in another lifetime, about 100 pounds ago, I was actually a personal trainer. I know it's hard to believe, but I was a personal trainer for a couple of years. And I moved to Texas. It's just the food is so good here, man. It's you can't be slim in Texas. It's almost impossible. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? All right. So Renee, I think everyone. Oh, Mike McClune's here. A-Dubs, Shooting Gallery New England, also another Smashy winner. Got a lot of respect for you, buddy. Shooting Gallery New England. He puts the work in. Absolutely puts the work in. All right. So without further ado, let's add him to the stream. And this is James from Pilgrim Ammunition. What's up, buddy?
How you going, mate?
Man, it's good. It's good to have you on.
Thanks very much, mate. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. So, like I was telling everybody when I did my unboxing, I thought this ammo is almost too pretty to shoot.
It is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It's nuts. I've never seen a hollow point here. We can do this. I've never seen a hollow point that actually, yeah, it's like a hollow point. I've never seen that before in my life. Usually there's like a little mushroom or something inside. Absolutely nuts. So let's get started, the history of Pilgrim Ammunition, because I'm curious to know how you guys got started and just how old is the company in general. It's only about a year or two old, right?
Yeah, we founded in 2018. And how it all came about was I was living in Singapore, and I'd lived there for a number of years while I was doing other things. And I heard about an ammunition company for sale here in Florida. So I started making the inquiries and doing all the due diligence and finding funding, etc. And when I got out here, that particular company just didn't make sense to purchase. And it turns out that the original founder and the creator of this type of ammunition was no longer with that company, which, to me and my financial partners had, gave us a lot of concerns. And through pure happenstance, me and that co-founder met. And the rest is history. We came together, and he had a lot more to offer the industry, and we were just a lot more comfortable going in that direction. So instead of purchasing an ammunition company, we decided to found our own and stick with his original thoughts, and having him, as a business partner and as an R&D innovator. I mean, that's his strengths. He's an inventor. It basically brings you what we've got at the moment, and developing what we've got happening for 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, the shape. I've never seen a bullet like that. I can't wait to actually go shoot some stuff. I got a buddy out here that has some deer heads he's going to give me, or maybe some pig skulls, and we're going to shoot it. And from what you were telling me before is that it doesn't over penetrate, right?
No, that's correct. I mean, the unique selling points for this type of ammunition is, the lessened recoil, obviously super light. You can, even those 45s that I sent you, I mean, they're only a 78 grain round. Okay, but if we look at the normal ammunition that most people are carrying, which we're talking about a 50 grain 9mm that's moving at 2,000 feet per second. Right. And just with that lightweight, really, really fast projectile, you've got about 30% less recoil. But this ammunition will penetrate barriers. Okay, so it will penetrate doors and stucco and denim and all this other stuff. It's just that when it hits a soft target, hydraulic pressure builds up in that deep cavity and literally blows out the wall of that projectile into little chips. Okay, which gives you around about a 4-inch wound channel pattern, but zero over penetration. And that's what we're looking for. I mean, most people will look at ammunition where they want to see it penetrate a 16-inch gel block. Otherwise, they think it's no good. We're looking at the other end of the market where, we're worried about, you don't know what's going to happen in a real life scenario. You don't know who's going to be standing behind your target or whatnot. So, we're looking at the idea of, okay, it goes in, and nobody ever likes to think about this situation, but if you ever do need to use it, you want to make sure that it goes in the target and stays in the target, doesn't go anywhere else.
Right. So my home defense gun is my SIG MPX. So that's 35 round magazine. But I also have neighbors. If I were to shoot at my front door, man, I really like my neighbors. I don't want to shoot them, or I don't want to send bullets in their direction, So if I were to shoot down the hallway, if I were to shoot towards the front door, I mean, man, it really bugs me. It really kind of keeps me up at night, worrying that if I send 10 shots downrange, I miss 2 or 3, it's going to go right into their house, or, it just bothers me. And I like my neighbors. I don't want to shoot at them. So
Yeah, nobody
something
likes
like
to think
this
of that.
is right up my alley. I mean, this is exactly, I have it loaded up right now in my MPX. So this is my home defense round right now, just because of the over-penetration factor,
No, I'm glad to hear that. And I mean, we've done a lot of testing, and I just put a couple of ballistic gel blocks in the mail to you today, so you'll be able to have something to shoot at. So you'll receive those in a couple of days, and maybe you can share the video with us. But we've even shot at things like water jugs, just normal, large water jugs. Line up 3 of them, gives you the same sort of idea as a gel block, and it'll penetrate one, and it will go into the second, but it won't come out the other side of the second water jug. We did that with James the XD Man, who's another YouTuber. He's in Birmingham, Alabama. We did that with him, and he was amazed as well that the projectile didn't come out the other side of the second jug of water.
Nice. Yeah, because I think that's everyone's worry, it's over penetration. You always hear those stories where, some gangbangers are shooting at a drive-by, it goes through a car window, goes through some drywall, and hits like a little kid or something. And that
who wants that? Yeah, who wants that, mate? Who wants that? I mean, you don't like to think about the event where you need to use this, but should you do, you need to defend your life or the life of a loved one, or even the life of a random stranger. I mean, you don't want to be, right, missing and hitting an innocent.
100%. Oh man, it's funny. So Alaskan Ballistics, his whole YouTube channel, he's in the chat now. What bullet is that? Oh, I know he's itching to get his hands on some of this stuff, because he started out doing ballistic tests on his channel. That's pretty much his bread and butter. So this is someone we ought to talk to too, man, because this guy, if anybody's going to do some crazy accurate testing, I mean, he's up there hunting bears with 10 millimeter. I watched.
Well, I mean, we've got a 10 millimeter coming out, and our 10 mil is going to move at 2,400 feet per second. And that's going to hit with, our 45 hits with, 600 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. I think the 10 mil hits with 700. I'd be interested in talking to him. So maybe you want to hook us up and I can have a chat with him. I haven't been to Alaska yet since I've been in your fine country. So, I don't mind going up to Alaska and doing some shooting with him.
Oh man, Alaska, it's funny. I think it's the last piece of America that looks like a postcard. I mean, it's gorgeous. From what I've seen, he hasn't invited me up yet. So I'm waiting for that invite, Alaskan Ballistics. So as far as being in the U.S., where have you traveled since you've been here?
Vegas, LA, done most of Florida, Georgia, Washington, Michigan, Texas. I've been a few different places. I've still got a lot more to see. Tennessee, we got some really good supporters up there with High Caliber. They're one of our supporters up there. Really, really good guys.
Yeah, I love
yeah. So, man, I mean, just getting out there. We're not looking to sort of get in everywhere. We want to be in the good stores with the good people. Right. We don't want to be, Cabela's and Walmart is not really our speed. Mom and pop stores is where we want to be. Okay. Yeah. If not, I mean, we're primarily a B2C company. It's going from us straight to the consumer. But if we are going to be in small stores, it's small towns, small stores, good people.
So Jeremy Gray in the chat has a question: will it go through 2x4s? I don't know, but I'm going to try it.
Yes. Yeah, and that's I mean, we did some testing with the American Sheriff. Do you know Sheriff Mark Lamb?
No.
The American Sheriff. He was a guy with a big hat that was always around Trump. He's a big defender of the wall in Arizona. Has a large following, really, and honestly, nature's gentleman, salt of the earth. If you're watching, Mark, how you going? You're looking forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks. We did some testing with him and his sheriffs, shooting through windshield glass, and we were showing with him how it was accurately penetrating the windshield glass and still causing devastation. The next test we're going to do with him is actually through car doors, and we are going to shoot through 2x4s. And show that it will penetrate and still cause devastation.
Nice. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to test this myself. I've never done gel block testing, but I can't wait. It sounds like a lot of fun. I got a good buddy on a YouTuber he does that quite a bit. So I'll take some lessons from him. Bob says he just got some 38 specials, 77 grain frangible for my home defense. That's not a bad round, but I think I'm gonna. You know what kind of sucks about home defense rounds is every year I'll empty out whatever mag I have and reload it just to make sure it goes through the gun properly. So every year I burn through a box of home defense rounds and I reload just because. I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, that's what I say to people. People often ask me, yes, we are the upper end of the market. And people ask me all the time, how often should I be shooting your ammunition? Now, okay, from an owner of the company point of view, I have to say every day you shouldn't be using anything else. Okay, but I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I say to people, I mean, it's always good to use whatever full metal jacket or whatever you can use through your weapon to get your target practice right. But when you are doing your tactical shoot that keeps you sharp, that knows, so that you're going to be ready for that fatal moment potentially. You should, whenever you're doing a tactical shoot, you should be shooting what you carry. Your weapon is going to feel different, particularly with our ammo being so light. Bulletproof Blondie, who's on, she carries a 45, okay, as a carry weapon. Okay, and she often has to she's told me that she has to double check her weapon before she puts it in its holster just to make sure it's loaded. So your weapon feels differently. It's going to respond differently. And if you're going to be able to do what you need to do in that critical moment, you've got to know how your weapon's going to react.
All right, A-Dubs had a question. Are intermediate cartridges in the works for the rural consumer? What's an intermediate cartridge, A-Dubs? Intermediate? I don't know. Like an in-between? I don't know. Come back. Can you elaborate on that real quick? Texas 65 says Sheriff Lamb has been on live PD. Oh, man. That was a great show. I probably seen him.
You probably have seen him and just don't know who he is. But yeah, as I said, soul of the earth guy, mate, and got a lot of time for that gentleman.
Let's see, Sniper, should you carry with one in the chamber? Absolutely. That is the silliest question. When I first started carrying concealed, it's funny. Everyone goes through stages when you first start carrying concealed. At least I do, and everyone I've talked to is at first when you have your gun on you, you think everyone's looking at your gun. You think you're printing, and nobody's noticing your gun. Nobody cares. No one's actually. I look because that's what I do, but no one else is looking. You know what I mean? And then I was scared to carry with one in the chamber for a while because I didn't know what if it goes off. It just doesn't go off. It just doesn't. So carry with one in the chamber because you see a lot of self-defense videos where someone will pull a gun out and try and rack the slide. By that time, it's over. You don't want to be trying to rack the slide in a stressful situation. You just want to shoot and hopefully hit your target.
Yeah, amen.
Oh, so A-Dub says 223-556. You guys are doing a 5.56 round?
Yeah, we do have a 5.56 in the works. But that's not going to be until this year. We were hoping to have the 10 mil and the 5.56 ready in time for Christmas, but as I'm sure of your listeners realize, components have been really expensive and really, really hard to get. So, we started the market with the 4 calibers, and extending on from that just got hard. So we just stuck to our knitting while things are silly. So, we do have our eyes on it, and we're trying to overcome the component problem. But we'll get to it in due course. We haven't forgotten about it.
Yeah, I can't wait for that 10 mil because that's right up my alley. That's all that is my all-time favorite caliber. I love it. Absolutely love 10 millimeter.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
So maybe 300 blackout next year.
300 blackout, we don't have on the schedule as yet. We're looking at some acquisition targets, and if we take those, our dance card will sort of fill up, and our inventory will fill up. But it's all going to come down to components.
Right. All right, real quick in the chat, everyone, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. Also, I'm going to put Pilgrim Ammunition's channel in there. Please click over because, and like and subscribe to their YouTube channel, because if anything is going to have the first news about it, it's going to be their own YouTube channel.
Yeah, and we've been sort of relaxed with our YouTube channel this last year, but we are going to be kicking it off.
I didn't want to mention that.
That's okay. No, we've got a lot of exciting things coming up that aren't on there yet. As I said, the stuff with Sheriff Mark Lamb, Shannon Rich, really good operator, really good friend of mine, who's got some movies coming out this year. He's going to be doing some stuff with us where he's going to give us the benefit of his experience, both for his time in the Middle East and also in other situations he's found himself into when he's been doing close protection stuff. And give that to our listeners and our viewers as well. So some exciting things coming up this year.
Nice. Oh, look, Fluffy subbed. I tell you what, I have the best subscribers that follow me on YouTube. I mean, these are some of the most genuine people. So anybody that subscribes from my group, they're solid folks. And it's funny, I'll talk to other YouTubers and they're like, man, I had to ban this guy. I've never banned anybody from a chat. I on accident, I put what's up in a timeout once. Again, I apologize for that. But that's about it. But I got some great people. So speaking of movies, how much are you into the movie stuff? Because I remember you said you were talking to a producer about maybe being in a movie and going that route and trying to get.
Yeah, that's actually funny how it happens. I was Shannon Rich again. He was 51 years old. This guy is the current bare knuckle boxing champ of the world at 51 years old, and he was having his last MMA fight. He was an ex-Pride fighter, but besides being an ex-contractor in the military and all the rest of it, but he was having his last MMA fight in Arizona. So I went out there to support him and whatnot. He won. I think it was 236 or 237 career fights in MMA. It's just insane what Shannon gets up to. Wow. Now, when he finished the fight and won the fight, I just finished shooting with Mark Lamb with the ballistics dummies, and Shannon said, "Well, I'm going to Vegas. You're dropping your car off there. Do you want to give me a lift?" And he was shooting a movie in Vegas, so I gave him a lift. And when we got there, it was nighttime, and they were still shooting the movie. And I walked on set, and the producer and the director said, "Who's the guy in the beard? We want him in the movie." So it was a movie that was starring WWE's Eva Marie, the chick with the pink hair, and I had 4 seconds of her slicing me up with a knife and stabbing me in the neck, and it sort of snowballed from there. I did another 2 movies after that, and I've got a few more that I've been asked to do this year. So it's weird how it's happened, but it's all for Pilgrim placement. So why not? It's not a bad day. It's not a bad way to spend the day.
Right, man. I tell you, I did a couple commercials back in LA, and since I wasn't a SAG member, I got an iPad for 1 day work, and then I got 2 iPods for one doing a Ford commercial.
Yeah, well, the second movie that I did after the thing with Eva Marie, I had a speaking role, and that was opposite Cowboy Cerrone, and I got my SAG card on that one. So now I'm proper SAG carded.
Oh yeah, Cowboy Cerrone. He's interesting guy. You know what's funny? My kids do jujitsu down here at this local gym, and their head coach is a UFC fighter, Alex Morano, and he actually knocked out Cowboy Cerrone when they fought. And during that fight, I was really tore up because I love both these guys to death.
Yep.
And I actually just sat on the sideline, and I'm like, man, just I couldn't pick a winner. I'm glad Alex won though, because he's a solid guy. And then that same gym has last Ultimate Fighter winner on the TV show, Ricky Tershatius. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, Ricky. But
yeah, well, I don't know Alex, but I've met Cowboy just the once, and he's another guy who's just sold to the earth. Really, really good bloke.
Yeah, he's a gun guy. He's a solid gun guy too.
Yeah, well, we're going to be doing some stuff with him as well. I've asked him if he wants to go shooting, and we just got to follow up with him.
Yeah, all right. So Jesus had a question. What's the average penetration on that round for the 9mm?
Average penetration, again, if we're looking at gel block ballistics, and if we're looking at, say, let's look at the 9mm. As I said, the 9mm is hitting with 450 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. Okay, so and what I've seen through the gel blocks that I've shot is that you get the maximum, 4 to 5 inches of dispersion in the first 5 inches, and I'm talking about, as a sphere. And then you've got the base plate, and that travels through to about 10 to 11 inches into the gel block and then stops there.
Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go shoot some stuff with this. Besides paper. Mike says he's excited to check it out. Fluffy says he's going to get some 10mm when it comes out. Oh, yeah, that 10mm is going to be hot. How close?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a few months away? Maybe half a year away?
It's hard to say. I mean, we keep on getting promised components, and then they fall away for whatever reason. I mean, the market is still very, it's hard to plan because it's, you're following a bouncing ball constantly. Right. And, all I can say is as soon as to all your listeners that seem to be very, very, hard for the 10mm, as soon as we've got it, we'll be pushing it out, and I'll send you some. So, your listeners will know that we've got it. Maybe I'll come up to, I'll come over to Texas and we'll do some shooting with you.
Oh man, anytime.
Well, we had a lot of fun the other day when we were shooting, and with Mike and whatnot. So yeah, I'd love to do that again.
Yeah, I can't believe he's not in the chat. Mike's not in the chat, huh? He's probably taking down his Christmas lights. Oh yeah, that 10mm is gonna be hot. That 10mm is gonna be hot. So as far as like the movies, are they gonna put Pilgrim Ammo, or are they gonna do any product placement?
Basically, yeah. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as advertising goals for 2022, do you guys do a lot of like, I don't know, how are you guys marketing for 2022? Are you guys changing it up at all?
Yeah, we'll be changing. I mean, we did really, really well with a couple of companies we were working with, and things have fallen away recently, and the market has really changed. I mean, during the pandemic, we were one of the only ammunition companies where if people wanted ammunition, you'd call, you'd pay for it, and it would go out the same day. We were really busy during the pandemic because we had everything. Now that things are starting to taper off, you've got a lot of ammunition suppliers that are panic selling, and there's a lot of good deals out there for the public. Does it do what our ammunition does? I'd have to leave it up to your viewers and the general public to sort of test it out and try it and see what they think. Me personally, I haven't seen another round do this. And so if I was looking to protect, my life or life of loved ones, that's what I would be carrying.
Right. I mean, it's not the cheapest ammo around, but by today's prices, it's still pretty bargain price. Your 9mm hollow point here is $34 a box, $35. Is there a shipping discount if they get over a couple $100 worth of ammo?
Look, we're positioning ourselves in the market so we're here, okay? Because we believe that there's going to be another spike, and there's going to be a lot of other ammunition companies that may not, be able to supply to their consumers, in 6 months' time. We're positioned for, the ups and the downs. We are offering discounts. We just had, 10% off and a free shipping for Christmas. So we do run discounts every now and again. I would recommend you, get on our website and subscribe to our list. We're going to have a lot more media going up this year that's coming from us. So you get newsletters, and anytime that you get, anytime that there's a discount available, it'll go to our subscribers first. YouTube will be kicking off, as I said, but also our Instagram. All of our discounts are on there.
Nice. Because honestly, at $35 a box, if you've been to Academy lately or some of these other stores, that's kind of a bargain. That's not outrageously priced compared to, I mean, heck, I saw some Plus P at Academy for $40. But, last year it was $21, $22. I mean, the prices locally are ridiculous. So that's actually a bargain. Quick, buy it before he raises his prices, because that's way too cheap, actually, if you think about
it. Big Merciful, thanks for subscribing, brother. I just saw that you just subscribed.
Oh, yeah. 6.5 Creedmoor, a good round. Yes, it's a great round. See, people call me for buyer's confirmation. They're like, should I buy this gun? Yes. What is it? I don't care. Buy it. Don't ask me if you should buy a gun. I'm going to say yes. Randy just subbed to the channel too. Nice. Jeffrey Light. Jeffrey, make sure you sub to this channel, buddy. Nice. Nice. So I noticed by your accent, you're probably not from around Florida. So I'm thinking maybe Wisconsin. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Texas originally. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, mate. I'm from Australia.
Nice. So did you grow up with guns in Australia, or because when did they do that crazy buyback confiscation? Were you?
Yeah, mate. I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, that was after the Port Arthur massacre. And, I've been asked this question a bunch of times on different podcasts about, my opinion, and I get a lot of people from the left and the right that say to me, I mean, what the hell are you doing owning an ammunition company? You're from Australia. And I grew up in the country, so we always had guns around and stuff like that. And just like most people here, growing up with guns or a property, or, where your old man's got guns, you're taught as children to respect the firearm. And it's a growing up moment, okay? You understand that you don't be an idiot when you're carrying around a gun. It's something important, and you follow the rules. It was no different. It was no different in Australia for us. But, I mean, if you look at what happened as soon as they did the amnesty, and there's a lot of people that will agree with this, whether Australian or not, and I know that there's a lot of people in Australia that will really disagree with me on this, but I mean, I did a whole lot of security stuff and law enforcement and military stuff in Australia, and what I saw was, as soon as they got rid of guns. And there's never been a large culture of guns for personal protection in Australia. Like, there wasn't the carry conceal stuff that there is here.
Is that because Australia's more spread out?
Well, I mean, you look at you're looking at chalk and cheese, mate. There's 27 million people in Australia, okay, and it's a massive landmass. Okay, you got 350 million people here in America. You can't compare what's worked in Australia on one level. And where I was getting to just before we sort of changed tune a bit was the only people that have got guns and did have guns after everyone handed back all their guns were the criminals. And there was a lot of people and granted, most criminals in Australia, they were just killing each other. But there was a few innocent bystanders that were hit, and drive-by shootings of bouncers and people that got upset outside of nightclubs. But there was no real way to protect yourself. Now, as I said, you got 27 million people in Australia. You got 350 million people. You took everybody's guns off of them and just left with the criminals. You've got a compounded by over 10 times problem. So, people that think that what has worked on some level in Australia would work in this country are fucking dreaming. Pardon
Well, I mean, the
my
knife
language.
crime. I heard that knife crime in Australia went up. The stabbings doubled. I mean, people will kill people. If you want to kill somebody, they're going to find a way. Like that guy was it Atlanta? Where did he drive that bus down the street?
Oh, yeah. Down the street, yeah.
And
yeah, but and also
accident. It wasn't an accident. He turned down that road and ran over all those parade people and killed a lot of kids.
Exactly. And 5 years ago, mate, I mean, there was a massive culture in Australia, okay, where they had to change the laws significantly, whereas if you did this, it was instant jail, okay, for a high term. I forget the number, so I'm not gonna clutch at straws and try. But I mean, there was a culture of people smashing beer mugs over the back of over the back of people's heads that weren't suspecting it. Just, I don't like the look of that person. They'd smash a beer mug over them.
Like
and unfortunately, yeah. Or the other thing that was happening about the same time was people just punching people in the back of the head for no reason. Okay, and it was only when it started to kill a couple of people that the laws changed. I mean, the Australia that I left in 2005 is not the place it is now. It is not very free, and it's not very. It's not the way it used to be. I know that all old men sort of say, "Well, it's not the way that things were when we were growing up," but it is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you see, Americans are so sheltered. I mean, we don't know a lot about other countries unless we see it on TV. And so for us, Australia is pretty much Crocodile Dundee, and that's about it.
Hold on, mate. Hold on. I did this for you.
No, you got the hat. Oh, I don't have a hat. I need a hat. Oh man.
There you go, mate.
Is that the real Crocodile Dundee hat? It looks just like it.
It's a proper Akuba, and it's got all the Crocs teeth in there and whatnot. When we were talking in Texas a few weeks ago, I told you I had one, so there you go, mate.
Man, that's awesome. Now you just need this giant knife.
Hang on.
Oh, see, folks, you ask and Pilgrim Ammunition delivers. So I do love Paul Hogan. A-Dubs is right.
There you go.
National treasure. Ah! Outstanding.
There you go, mate. Yeah, this knife's really Australian because this knife is so Australian that it's got a knife.
A knife in a knife?
A knife in a knife.
Oh, my God. That's great. I need to get one of those. See, that's something you should sell on your site just as like a random product.
I don't know. It's from Tops Knives. I've been using these guys for a number of years. They're great quality, and the guys over there, Dylan and whatnot, good blokes. Dylan, if you ever watch this, you owe me a call, mate. But yeah, good blokes, and a really, really quality product.
Man, that hat is outstanding. Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I must have watched that movie 1,000 times. I mean, at least 100 times. Not kidding. It's such a good movie. I mean, it was on every day on HBO, and that was the only channel we had for a long time.
Well, that was back in the days of VHSs where you'd have to rewind the tape and you'd end up watching it again from the start, but you had to wait 5 minutes for it to rewind.
100%. 100%. I used to work. One of my first jobs out of high school was at Hollywood Video. But over here, that was like a Blockbuster, except at Hollywood Video, you had to wear a bow tie and a vest with popcorn on it. Right. I looked at myself in the mirror. I felt like kicking my own ass. All right. Jesus says, James, what is your carry weapon of choice if you do?
Unfortunately, being an Australian, the only way that I can own guns is through a hunting license. And I'm not allowed to carry conceal. I do like the HK-45. I like Glocks. Cicados. Love Cicados.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, until I get a green card, if I choose to get a green card down the track, I'm not allowed to carry conceal.
Gotta get on that, man.
Mate, I've been here for what, this is my third year now.
Can you do dual citizenship kind of a thing, or?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to lose this hat, mate, because I'm starting to cook in it. All right, but one good thing about a Cobras is they're warm. So, dual citizenship is allowed. Would I get it? I mean, depends on what happens. A lot of things could happen. Yeah, we've got some developments as a company in South Africa, so I may be jumping back and forth over there ourselves. So jumping between America and South Africa, it looks like it's going to be the next few years. But yeah, don't worry. As soon as I have that green card, the first thing I'll be doing is taking a carry conceal course.
Yeah, it's funny. Some of the most fun people I've ever met are from South Africa.
Yeah, they're good blokes. Play good rugby.
They have such a funny personality. I love it. I met through my job in logistics. I've had the opportunity to break bread with many people from South Africa, and funny guys and girls.
Yeah, they're good people. Good people.
All right. See, Jesus has another question. What's your favorite fire in the shoe, or your favorite round W shot and so far? Oh God, Jesus, you're killing me. Favorite firearm or round to shoot? So not concealed carry. What is just your favorite? What is your go-to gun? If you're going to the range and it's just you, so you're not bringing guns for other people to shoot. So if you're going to the range, just you, and you got a pile of ammo and a nice weekend, what are you bringing? What are you shooting?
Well, there's something that I'm interested in at the moment, and it's a double-barrel Gilboa, okay, from Israel. I'm just interested in that right now. A go-to for me, obviously being part of the Aussie military, is either M4s or Oshtyres, the F88 Oshtyre, which is our infantry weapon. I can shoot that weapon all day, every day, because I've put so many rounds, down range. I don't mind Lapurs. Yeah, I mean, look, for me personally, I'll shoot anything at the range, and I'll appreciate it for what it is.
Gilboa. What? A Gilboa snake double barrel. Is that, you said double barrel AR-15? How do you put a sight on that thing?
I've just gone through it with their armor on how to sight it, and I'll tell you what, once I get this YouTube thing sorted out, that'll be one of the first videos that I do.
That is a bananas. If you guys don't know what a Gilboa is, it's a Gilboa snake double barrel AR-15 rifle.
I'm just intrigued by it because it's a double barrel AR. I mean, how the hell are we going to sight it?
Exactly. I mean, after 100 yards, I mean, it's either crisscrossing or how's that going to work?
Yeah, well, that's what I want to try and figure out. So I'll let you know how I go.
But CQB, that thing would be a beast.
Well, I tell you what, mate. I mean, if somebody kicks in the door and points that at you, it's certainly going to make a statement.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely going home for sure because that thing looks wicked. Yeah. That is bananas. I've never seen that before. I've seen one like someone just do a mock-up, but I didn't know that was an actual production rifle now.
Oh yeah. I was at West Armory here in just near Tampa. A couple of weeks ago, they're one of our supporters, and they had one in there. 6 months ago when I was telling them about it, they said, "Yeah, we're familiar with that. We've seen one of those." So they're not as uncommon as you think.
That is bananas. That is bananas. Absolute Misty's in the chat. Let's see. Gunmetal guys in the chat. How are you? Happy New Year, guys. Jeff W. My New Year was fantastic. We had a big block party out here just because Fauci said not to. And New Year's, I hugged and kissed a bunch of people, a lot of guys. I don't care. I bro hugged a lot of people. We were drinking Jello shots. It was phenomenal. I eventually found my kids, but it was all right. Let's see. Demolition Ranch has one he shot in his channel. All right. Big Merciful says that might be the new shotgun replacement. Maybe. Yeah, point and squeeze. Yeah, it's bananas. Absolute bananas. So as far as optics, do you have a company you like as far as optics? What do you put on your rifles?
Nothing as yet. I mean, this is the first lot of rifles that we've got as a company. So yeah, I'm going to be really doing some research over the next little while and figuring out what's going to be best. I mean, first of all, I'm going to take it down to the range, and I'm going to see what sort of accuracy I can get just through the iron sights at what range, and then from there, I can then sort of get an idea of what sort of sights that I'm going to need for that.
Right. It looks wicked. You let me know when you get that. I'll fly down and I'll come check it out because that thing looks freaking cool.
Yeah, well, we've also got the single barrel 7.62 version, which looks badass.
Gilboa. That is a cool gun. I guess Gilboa is their own company, right? They're a gun maker.
Correct.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, they're out of Israel. Really, really good guys. Yeah, Roy and his dad, really, really good blokes.
Let's see. A-Dub says quad 50 sights should help. What are quad 50?
Quad 50 sights?
Let's Google that real quick.
Quad 50 sights.
That's the old, that's from what I'm seeing, it's the old machine gun sights. Very funny. Very funny. A-Dub's killing me. Kill me, bro. Miss K says Florida is a free state. Yes, it is. Florida and Texas, I think, will be the two last bastions of freedom in the United States, for sure.
Mate, I tell you what, and I don't have a dog in the fight being an Aussie, but I love our governor. Dos Santos, he's a really, really good bloke.
He's still a politician, but so far, he's doing the right things, but he's still a politician.
Mate, look, when everything got shut down, we were, as an ammo company, we were put on the list of an essential business. So, I mean, I've worked right through the pandemic and we only closed the bars, I think, for about 6 weeks here. And then all the bars reopened and people were around. So, it hasn't really been felt in Florida, at least this part of Florida, as much as it has in other areas.
No, like in Houston, Texas, it's funny. It's funny. In Houston, Texas, it's a little segregated out. So there's the huge Asian population live kind of like on the southwest side of town. And if you go down there, even today, they mask up. All of them mask up. There's a lot of Indian communities, a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of Asians. They all mask up. If you go anywhere north of Houston, like up where I'm at, maybe you see a mask once a day. I mean, it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well. Yeah, but the thing is, mate, I mean, like, I spent a lot of time in China previously, and even before the pandemic, because of the pollution, there was a lot of people walking around with masks on right through Asia.
Right.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like is, you know, I have 2 little kids, and finally, parents would start keeping their kids home when they were sick because it never these little kids are germ magnets. And parents,
Yep.
their kids would have the flu, they'd send them to school, all the other kids get sick, and it was driving me nuts. At least during the pandemic, if your kid was even had a fever, they'd send him home, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I
Other than
get it,
that,
man. I get it.
I don't know. Joe Morris says West Virginia is a bastion of freedom just southwest of New England. That is true. I mean, there's a lot of good states out there, but Florida's in the press every day for their governor just standing up. Like Bobby says here, he stands up and doesn't take anything from AOC. But it's funny how AOC was down in Florida at a cafe at a resort having coffee, maskless, after she just locked her city down again. Hypocrites, man. Politicians. God, I can't stand politicians. CW Cool says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, CW. If you're not a subscriber to Pilgrim Ammunition's YouTube channel, please subscribe. How many subscribers do you have on your channel? We got to get this grown.
I don't have any clues, mate. I don't think it's very many, but yeah, subscribe and I'll make it worth everybody's while.
well, it's still a growing channel.
Mm.
I'm sure that's like the last thing on your mind too is a YouTube channel when you got so many other things in the oven, you know.
Well, mate, I mean, you know, it's an important thing, mate, and yeah, as long as you schedule it and remember to do it, you know, on time every time, it just turns into another thing, and if it grows, and you know, one thing that I've seen, particularly, you know, watching a few of your podcasts, a couple of your channel things, you know, it's a good way for you to interact with your people. And, you know, we've got different interviews coming up as well that's going to be on our YouTube channel as well as our Vimeo channel and whatnot. So, you know, it's just one of those things that I think it's time. We've spent the last year just building everything up, and, you know, now we can really get into it. We've got something to talk about now.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, honestly, I'm not an expert. So that's funny. Everyone says, hey, man, why do you do this live stream? Because I'm not an expert. You know, if my generator broke, I can't fix it. If my car breaks down, if it's gun related, I might be able to do something with it. But I like talking to experts in their field, you know. So I really enjoy having interesting people on to chat with because I'm not that interesting. I'm just some guy on the internet. So yeah, Fluffy says he's starting to see more and more people here in Michigan masking up, even if they are the only ones in the vehicle. I've seen that. Someone in the car by themselves, windows up, with a mask on.
Yeah, but you got to feel sorry for people like that, man, because you can sort of tell they didn't have any friends as a child. You know, you got to feel sorry for them.
Right. It's like, come on. I mean, really, even if you do have COVID, what is that doing for you? You're by yourself. Who cares?
Yeah.
For me, I have asthma, and I did join the gym today.
Okay.
I did join the gym. So I used to be a gym fanatic many, many pounds ago. About 10 years ago, I was a absolute gym junkie. And I decided I'm getting older. I need to go back. So
yeah, me too, man. But mind you, I've done the opposite. I've lost a lot of weight. I was a gym junkie for a lot of years, but about 18 months ago, I ended up going through the windshield of a car and broke myself up pretty badly. So I'm still getting back into it. Everything's starting to work again. So,
were you driving?
Yeah. No, I was on a motorcycle.
Oh, man.
Yeah, me and the motorcycle went through the windshield. So, yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
Rough. I got a buddy right now in California. He was driving in San Pedro, California, which, if you've ever been there, it's like a smashed version of San Francisco with the hills, and it's not bike friendly. It's not motorcycle friendly at all. You've got to be a damn idiot, which my friend is not a damn idiot, but pretty close if he's watching, Pat. He got hit, and he's still in the hospital today. It's been 9 months. He's broke his pelvis, broke his arm, his leg,
Yeah, man, I got out of it. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. I was lucky, even though it sounds quite bad me going through the windshield. But I'm still here. I can still walk. Yeah, still talking.
Yeah, I mean, bikes are fantastic. They're a lot of fun, but man, people just don't see you. I mean, I've almost hit people on bikes, and I do pay attention.
Yeah.
And with everyone with their phone up like this, was they're driving. I mean, God, driving a bike is risky. Riding a bike.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, they changed the laws in Australia, mate. When I was there getting my visa in 2019, they changed the laws there that if a policeman sees you with your phone in your hand, okay, it's instant loss of license.
No way.
Yeah, man. If you want to check messages, you plug it up to your car, okay, and you can use it via the car, and you can get Siri to play the message to you, and you can take calls and things like that. But yeah, it's instant loss of license. And, as much as Australia's Australia and here's here, and I don't think that the laws in Australia should ever come here. But for that one, man, I've seen how it was beneficial over there.
I definitely think they should do some kind of fine, like a pretty harsh fine for driving with your phone, because it's dangerous, man. I've almost been hit a few times, and I've been guilty of it. When I first started driving with my phone, and I do sales, it's hard. For a while, I was answering emails, typing out full emails, and I ended up in a ditch. Oh, my wife doesn't watch this, but I ended up in a ditch facing the wrong way, and I'm like, well, I think I got to stop doing that. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate, mate. I got a Dodge Ram, and the way that the Siri hooks into my phone, I can answer texts. I can get my phone calls done. I get a lot of work done, particularly while I'm doing long haul stuff. 8 hours driving and above. But yeah, I mean, I don't ever touch it. But that's only because I'd hate to run up the arse of somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to. I really try not to. Big Merciful says, if I see you driving down the road in a car by yourself and you're wearing a mask, we can't be friends. That is true. Mike McClune says, my buddy I used to work with is selling his Harley Bagger touring bike. Only has 12,000 miles on it. Nope. Not buying a bike. Cops speed and on a laptop with no consequences. You know what? I've seen cops.
Yeah.
Like, I saw a sheriff about 6 months ago run up on a curb, and I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't paying attention. And he just ran up on a curb and nothing. There's no consequence at all. So
yeah, well, yeah. That's
what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, man.
Oh, let's see. So as far as you going to South Africa, is that something you're looking forward to doing? I mean, are you going to take up residence over there, or?
No, not so much. And I've spent a lot of time in Africa. I used to work over there doing various things. So I've spent a lot of time in the Middle East and North Africa, East and West Africa. It's just there's a couple of opportunities over there that I think that can be beneficial for us here in the States. So we don't have to rely on local vendors and local suppliers of certain things that we need. So, if we can buy up or structure businesses over there that can feed us here, that's, it's going to be beneficial for us and obviously beneficial to our consumers, just so we can, vertically integrating is the next thing for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So let me ask you a question. All right. I got some dumb American questions. Sorry about that.
Okay, mate, bring it on.
All
Do you want me to put my Cobra back on?
All right, Mike. So let's talk about being an Aussie. So it's funny. So we were eating, and I tried to do an Australian accent, and James put his food down. He looks at me and goes, was that supposed to be Australian? I was like, I thought it was pretty good, but apparently it was horrible.
Yeah, it was shit house.
Yeah, I gave it a shot.
Yeah, mate, no, I'm for trying.
So let me ask you, is there anything about the States that surprised you when you first got here where you're like, wow, that's different?
No, because I've been over here a few times.
Oh, okay.
You know, the biggest thing that I saw when I first got over here. I mean, you see American movies and all the rest of it. You just think that every chick over here is nines and tens everywhere. That was the biggest shock for me some years back.
Wow. Talk about blown expectations. Yeah, that is.
No, it's just the same as everywhere else. I mean, yeah, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, no, I mean, it's the same as everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter whether it's Nigeria, Slovakia, or Tennessee. There's good and bad people everywhere, and you surround yourself with the good people, and you walk away from the bad people because the only thing that I don't want to really experience in your country is the litigation system.
Right.
So I just want to stay away from all of that. I'm too busy building businesses and making friends, making mates, to worry about that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, I started doing that about 5 years ago when my daughter was born. Any negativity, anybody that's negative, like I would always try and help people out, but you know what? People should really try and help themselves. So anybody that's
people got to
negative,
get out of their own way sometimes.
Any negative, like, plus I'm in sales. I get shucks on a daily basis. I can't have other outside negative forces. So if you want to soar with the eagles, you can't hang out with ducks. So that's my philosophy.
Yep.
Like, you just gotta wash them off. It's
exactly.
Like, hey,
it's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys as well.
Right. Oh, that's another good one. 100%. See, Daniel in the chat says, "Hey, Michael, I got hit by the back of a cop not paying attention on the road. I was okay, but the cop wasn't. Oh man, that's a bummer." Well, Fluffy says, "I drive for a living, and I see people do that every day." Barbecue, Texas versus Aussie. Oh, that's a good question. You know what? I feel like such a horrible host because I didn't take you for some barbecue.
That's all right, mate. I'll take you up on that one. I'll tell you what, mate. I mean, I've had some really bad barbecue here in this country. Okay, but your barbecue, what you guys call barbecue, is you can't compare it. You can't compare it to anything else in the world. I mean, and what you guys call barbecue isn't what we call barbecue. Okay, what we call barbecue is a whole lot of meat just on a thing, but you guys really marinate it and slather the sauce on it and all the rest of it. So your barbecue is something totally different.
Parts. Like, there's some parts of Texas where they just they put a light seasoning on it and then just grill it right off the.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I tell you what, man. I mean, you're comparing two totally different things. But some of the barbecue that I've had some really good barbecue in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had some really good stuff in Texas. But yeah, man. I mean, you're comparing two totally different things. Okay, I mean, there's stuff. If I took anybody from here back home and we had a barbecue, okay, you'd be like, well, this isn't really barbecue, but it's good.
Why? What is Australian barbecue?
Yeah, the Aussie diet is a lot cleaner. Okay, it's a lot more health conscious. Okay, so it's more like lean meats and stuff like that with without all the really heavy sauces and shit like that.
Right.
So for me personally, I find it cleaner. By the same token, I mean, you really can't compare to the ribs you guys have got and some of the pulled pork stuff that you guys do. It's it puts me in a food coma, but I love it.
Yeah. Just this weekend we went to this Fogo de Chao, which is a Brazilian steakhouse, and God, we ate so much meat. I was full. We ate at 1:00. I went to bed full that night. I was still just stuffed. It was amazing. But next time you come down, there's a couple of cool spots I want to take you to.
I'll give you plenty of notice next time. And next time I'm in town, Yeah, me. Yeah, we also want to try out one of those Brazilian steakhouses as well.
Yeah. Oh, we tried to. They were booked out. They were booked
Yeah, I know, mate. But yeah, we'll get plenty of notice next time, mate.
Right. Right. All right. See, geez, what's the thing you love about being in the States? What's your favorite state or place to go to? So, what do you like the most about the U.S.? Like,
I tell you what, mate. I mean, I take a bike everywhere I go. I always take a Harley, and the fact that I can, and I know that I got hit by a car and whatnot, had a bad accident and whatnot, but that didn't stop me from riding. You know, to be able to ride, you know, without a helmet on, wind in my face, wind in my hair, you know, and just ride, and you know, get out in the open road, and yeah, that's what I really like about this country. There are certain things, small things like that, okay, that are really good, really free, you know, that the rest of the world really can't do. I mean, you can do it in Thailand, but who wants to do it there? You're gonna
yeah.
get yourself killed.
Yeah. I had a buddy.
You know,
I had a buddy go from South Carolina all the way to Vegas on his Harley. Took a
yeah,
week
mate.
and a half,
Yeah.
and he said it was the best time of his life.
Yeah, mate, and a mate that I used to work with that was having some problems, you know, with his headspace post him doing the work that he was doing. You know, he got a bit down and needed some perspective on life, and we sent him to the States and bought him a Harley and just gave him enough money to sort of, and what we got him to do is just pick a spot on the map. And that's his job was to ride there until he got there. Okay, and then spend a couple of days, and you know we'd be in touch with him, and then the next day, you know, he'd pick another spot on the map. And he did that for 6 months. And anybody that's sort of, you know, feeling the pinch of the hustle or whatever you're going through, you're an ex-vet or whatnot, I really recommend people doing that, because that set him right. He did that for 6 months straight, and then, you know, he had a beer with us all and said, look, I really appreciate you doing that for us. But yeah, man, I mean, there's nothing quite like seeing America on a bike.
You know, maybe that's why all the vets, because I know when the Vietnam vets got back to the States, that's when the biker club culture blew up. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's how they were coping with it. Was just they just got into bike.
I agree with that to a degree, but you've also got to remember, I mean, a lot of those blokes, they came back and they got spat on.
Right.
You know, and, you know, they didn't want to be over there. They got conscripted. Okay. They were going over there. They were doing horrible shit. And whether they believed in it or not, I mean, there was something that they were ordered to do. And they got spat on. So, of course, they would congregate together and, you know, deal with things. And obviously, I mean, the way that people deal with those sorts of problems has evolved over the last 50 years. Okay, into something that is, on one hand, is more healthy. On another hand, it's not so healthy. You know, I find it interesting. A lot of people really push on this PTSD thing. I mean, there was somebody that wrote a thesis that's a friend of ours, and they don't say PTSD, they say PTSE. And the perspective of it is that it's not a disorder, it's an empowerment. You've got to realize that you've survived this traumatic thing, and everybody that's been in these situations, you know, they'll have night tremors and things like that, and regret and guilt and all these things. But you've got to look at it from the perspective that you're still here. Okay, you've still got air in your lungs, you've still got food in your belly. Maybe you've got people around you that love you. If you've got the right people around you that love you, you know, there's a lot to be appreciative for. So just switching the perspective is more healthy.
Man, that's awesome. That's true. That's absolutely true. It's funny, you know, I grew up in a very, I don't want to say it was a horrible household, but I grew up in a horrible household. And my brother always joked before he went in the service that he had PTSD before he even went in the Army. And our house was so messed up. I mean, we got beatings on a daily. You know, it was messed up. And I think that's what gave me my funny personality. Probably missing brain cells.
It's what they call character building.
Right. But That's interesting, to look at it as a bonus. I've seen some people that had survivor's guilt too. Like I knew one of my friends I grew up with. I mean, his whole squad he was with got wiped out by him, and that messed him up. That why is he still alive and all his friends are dead? So that was, and I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach out. I'm gonna call him probably next week, see how he's doing because he was having a hard time for a while.
Is he local to you in Texas?
No, he's back in LA.
Okay.
He's back in LA. I used to talk to him every month for a while when he got back, and that was years ago. So he was having a rough time, but he's got a real strong family around him. So
Well, that's good, man. I mean, you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, so he has a very good foundation around him. But man, CW Cool says, "Does your wife make you Philippine barbecue?" No, she does not. So look, all this stuff about Filipino wives are amazing. They are amazing. I love my wife to death. I love her to death. But cooking, it's just not in the bag. It's just not in the bag. God, if she sees this live, I'm a dead man. You know that, right?
Yeah, mate. I mean, she's tiny, but she's got some moxie to her, man. I wouldn't want to be. You'd have to sleep with one eye open.
She cooks some pretty good regular Filipino dishes, but nothing extravagant. She does the egg rolls, the lumpia egg roll. She's got that down pat. That's probably responsible for about 20 pounds of me. She's an okay cook. She's pretty good. But as far as like the real fancy stuff, no, we order out. Have you ever spent time in the Philippines?
Yeah, man. When I was in Singapore, I had a company called Harrow Resources, and that had a security arm to it, and our anti-piracy firing range was just outside of Makati.
Oh yeah,
with Manila. Yeah, Manila. So it was about an hour after that. I had that out there. So yeah, I spent a fair bit of time in the Philippines.
Nice. All right. Here's another American question for you. What's your favorite war movie? You have a movie where you just lose yourself, and it doesn't have to be factual. Because I got movies I know it's complete shit, but I love them and I watch them.
Yeah, man. But I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, I like cartoons. If I'm going to be watching something, man, I want to be entertained. I don't want to be reminded of shit. But I did like 13 Hours.
Yeah, it was a good flick.
Yeah, I did like 13 Hours because they just they didn't just hone in on a lot of the humor was very accurate. I did enjoy that movie on a number of levels. Certain stuff hard to watch, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I go to the movies to laugh and be entertained. I don't want to everyone wants to go see horror movies and stuff. Why? It's fake. It's not real. I want to laugh.
Yeah, mate. And that's why I like the cartoons, mate. That's why I like the cartoons. It keeps it simple.
I'm going to send you the Tom and Jerry box set.
There you go. Good on you, mate.
Here's Mike. Finally, look at this, James. Mike finally got in the chat. Look at this.
How you going, mate?
We were talking about you, Mike. You missed all the good stuff. Yeah, but I like classics like Big Trouble in Little China, that kind of stuff. I love those kind
of movies. Love that movie.
It's so good. It's
so on the reflexes.
Yeah, it's so cheesy. It's I love 80s action movies because I know like Escape from LA, like that kind of just cheesy. I love it.
Sounds like you got a bit of a man crush from Kurt Russell, mate.
Hey, Tango and Cash. Put me in prison with him. Just kidding. No, Kurt Russell was great growing up. Him and Stallone. I mean, the Rambo movies are always that's pure 80s Americana brainwashing.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Oh man, he tested positive for the COVID, a bit under the weather.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I guess we're
Get
not
well
shooting
soon,
tomorrow.
mate.
I guess we're not shooting tomorrow. That's a bummer. Jesus, you definitely look like you sit home and watch Dragon Ball Z. Oh, is it the beard? Is it the beard? Then Goku, Golden Child. Yeah, Golden Child's another classic.
Golden Child, yeah, that was another good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. So, man, I cannot wait to get this 10 millimeter ammo. Now that you told me that, I'm going to try not to harass you because that's my jam. I love 10 millimeter.
I will get onto my mad scientist first thing tomorrow and just see whether we can put something together. Okay, just for just a small batch. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been asking us for it.
Yeah, and honestly, if you compare your prices, here I'll put your link in the chat too for Pilgrim Ammunition. Not to sound like a commercial or anything, but I go out and that's what I do. I started my channel ammo hunting, and I stay current on all the prices. If you compare this to what's in the store, it's not exactly. It's not actually. It's a little cheaper than a lot of that stuff in the store right now. So.
Yeah, mate, and we did that on purpose, mate. I mean, we had to put our prices up initially because of the cost of components, and then the prices have stayed there. You're gonna have to forgive me, Mike. I'm about to run out of battery, so I'm just going to connect my phone to the little device here. But yeah, mate, we try to keep things reasonable for the consumers. We don't want to be one of those companies that's raping the market and whatnot. So,
yeah, because people will remember that, especially gun people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also we don't want to take advantage of things. So, sorry, mate. I've got to take this out of its case so it will work. There we go.
It's all right. It's all right. Let's see. Yeah, Fluffy.
There we go.
Another 10 millimeter fanatic. It's the ultimate power in the universe. I don't know about that. I don't know about ultimate power, but it's pretty awesome. Mike says, check out the U-boat. Oh, man. You and the U-boat.
I had the other one on the other day, the one that I told him about. But, yeah, just send me Mike's number. Okay, I'll send him a picture of a couple of U-boats I got.
Oh, so I started watching some watch stuff on the internet, and there's this guy, I think they call him the producer.
Righto.
Who's a big watch guy, and he's like, I got some bargain watches I want to show on my channel. Each of his bargain watches were like $1.5 million, $1.2 million. The one was like $7 million. I'm like, geez, that's his bargain.
I tell you what, mate. I mean, when I first got into business, I was sitting in Singapore, and I think it was the first deal that I ever made money on. And it was on a 3-month trip back, and I was supposed to do the presentation, and I was a young bloke, and I was trying to look professional, and I had a suit on that wasn't really that good, but it was what I could afford at the time, and I had a nice Panerai on, one of the old the old Luminors Panerais. Panerai is the guys that made Panerai are the same guys when they sold out of Panerai, they made U-boat. Okay, that's where they come from. Yeah, and I'm trying to present to this guy, and the deal got done. But the bloke looked at my mate sitting next to me, and this guy looked like a bag of shit. He was in shorts and a t-shirt, and hair was everywhere, and wasn't even really listening. But the deal got done, and I started to get a little bit pissed off. And my mate, who ended up signing the deal and getting everything done, so we got paid. He could see I was getting pissed off, and he says, "Just shut up, and I'll tell you what happened when we walk out of there." This guy had a $3 million Richard Mille on his wrist, and my mate had a watch that was, probably about a third of that. And what the guy did was look up and didn't want to talk to me because I wasn't in his league.
Right.
And just wanted to get the information from someone that was in his league, and then the deal got done. So, I mean, it's funny how things work like that.
Yeah, I know it, man. Because it does. I know a lot of people that dress like you said, total shit, but they have a nice watch, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I've always had a nice watch up until recently, so I'm gonna try and get back into that, get something a little nicer. But when it comes between spending a few thousand on a watch and buying a gun, it's hard. It's hard. I always end up going gun.
Well, that's why after living in Singapore for so long, man, we didn't have guns there to buy. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's funny. That's funny you mentioned it. Well, hey, man, I don't want to keep you all night. James, I really appreciate you coming on the channel. Everyone in the chat, if you're not a subscriber, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to put a link to James's company in the chat. I'm also going to put a link to his YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber to each, please hit the subscribe button to his. And the show is yours. What do you got going on?
Mate, just more of the same, mate. I've got some more stuff to do here in the factory, and then I suppose I'll head on home and start another day. What about you, mate?
Oh man, I do sales for logistics, and in the first 2 weeks of the year, nobody wants to see you. The last 2 weeks and the first 2 weeks, they're like, get out of here. So basically, I'm just game planning. I just rearranged my office, cleaning up stuff. And I'm just trying to game plan for SHOT Show and for.
You going to SHOT?
Yeah.
I'll be there too, mate. I'll be there.
Oh,
too.
Nice.
Yeah. So nice. Let's catch up while we're there.
We'll hit some buffets together.
There you go, mate. You can try and introduce me to some barbecue.
I don't know about Las Vegas. Well, I don't know. I don't know because those buffets in Vegas seem to have great food. I mean, I think the Paris Hotel, for me, the Paris Hotel has the best buffet in Vegas. That's just me speaking. Because me and Grace used to go there all the time. When we lived in California, Vegas is just right there. So we would drive over all the time, every other weekend for a few months. And it was just great. I loved it.
Awesome. We'll see what we can do, mate. But once again, mate, thanks very much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate your time out of your schedule because I know it's a lot busier than mine. But
and if any of your listeners have got any more questions, feel free to reach out to me on our various areas. I'm happy to answer any questions. And we'll have some specifics on ballistics. Look out for those gel blocks that are coming out your way.
Nice.
As I said, anyone got any questions, we're very accessible, and we like to talk to our public. So don't be shy.
Nice. Thank you guys so much for watching. James, thank you again, sir.
Thanks,
Thursday night, we're going to have Alaskan ballistics on. I'm sure this conversation will come up then too, because he's going to want to get his hands on some of this. So thank you guys so much. Till next time.